It's difficult to pinpoint an exact source of creativity because I believe that it has to come freely from one's surroundings. Having grown up in Santa Barbara, my surroundings have always taken shape in mountains and waves. Art challenges me to capture some of the moments from life that can otherwise be left behind. My name is Sherman. I'm from Santa Barbara, California, and I'm an artist. Growing up, I experimented with crayons and markers exactly as any other kid would. It wasn't until about 9th grade when I started to think of art as anything more than just a fun game. Growing up, my family would always take a lot of camping trips to the desert. And I think that some of my work today might be inspired by some of the tans of my childhood, as well as the blues and the greens of Santa Barbara's environment. I'm inspired a lot by our natural environment and how humans interact with it. So I paint a lot of animals that have been affected by human activity. A lot of my paintings depict the ocean and other sources of water. I think primarily because of how water has played a role in my own life as a surfer and an artist in Santa Barbara. I get a lot of inspiration from the materials that I use and the surfaces that I paint on as well. My favorite art mediums are oil and acrylic painting, but I also have been experimenting a little bit with concrete casting and various sculptural practices. I've been exploring a lot with how windows and glass can be used to alter a painting's purpose and meaning as well, and where sculpture and painting collide. Kind of always looking at things and thinking about how things are going to translate into a painting, or how things could possibly translate into something I could make. I think that's a big piece of it too, is just constantly looking at things and thinking about how that could be used in an artistic setting. Painting for me is a process of experimentation. I like to put down one layer and just see how the paint sticks and think about, okay, what's my next mark going to be? And knowing that that's not always going to be a part of the final product. With each layer of paint, the initial concept changes slightly and adapts to the last layer. It's a constant evolution of my expectations and the reality of how the paint forms on the canvas. Right now I'm working towards my first solo show, which will debut in November, created around the idea of how humans have interacted with our environment. So much of our natural ecosystem, even locally in Santa Barbara, has been affected by the changes that humans have inflicted on the earth, and I think that's an important story to tell through art. One of the first paintings I created at this time was a 4-foot by 4-foot painting on plywood of an elephant with its tusks removed. I created this painting to raise awareness to the effects of humans on wild elephant populations and how elephants are being threatened in the wild. One of the most rewarding pieces of being an artist is getting to see how this thing that I made with my hands, that came out of my head, can go on to affect someone else's day. Even if it's just a little smile, even if it's not really getting it and turning around and walking away, that's still one more person that was impacted by my work, and that's a good feeling. I think that there are a lot of similarities between painting and journaling. When people write in their journal, they tend to write about their hardships and they write about the joys of their life and the best part of their day and the worst part of their day. And I want my paintings to read like a journal. I want people to see my work and have an idea of what I'm passionate about, have an idea of what I care about and what I want them to feel. When I graduate from high school, I'd like to continue my work in a professional environment. I'd really like to take my work into new markets and new audiences, and just continue the journey that I've been on of exploring my own practice and seeing where I can take this and how it'll affect the course of my life.